Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a chest and tricep day, and we started the day off with bench press. So pretty happy with today's performance. I decided on bench today I'm just going to do a single top set, not going to try to do multiple sets, and I'm just going to decided to jump in, do all my incline work, pullovers, all that stuff. But I want to be clear, I ended up, if I count the triple here coming up, which I do, as a work set, that put me at 15 work sets for chest. And all of those, within a few reps of failure, any way you break it down, which is what we're shooting for. And we get to these sort of volumes as long as we're pretty close to failure, and most stuff were good. Obviously, some of them did reach failure. Some of them were, a couple reps away, and that works out. Right, works out good. Definitely one of the incline, like the first heavy set. I obviously left a couple reps in the tank. But, all right, bench press. Doing power benching again, but I'm gripping it really, really wide because I want to get better at the wide grip over time. The really wide grip, my best previous benching has been pinkies on the rings. This is wider than that. But I feel like if I eventually build the arch up and then I go back and do some meets, this will put me in a really good spot. So if I get really used to that wide grip, but in the meantime, it's also great for chest development. So then I'm like, man, I feel good. I hit that incline rep PR last week. So I'm like, let me see if my actual incline is stronger. Okay, let's see if my incline is actually stronger. Because for me, like that 275 incline has been a struggle, right? It's been a struggle. And I think I missed it last time I went for it. Do you guys remember that? I think I did get it once before at a much heavier body weight a few years back. So that went good for a triple. The 245 felt good. So I'm like, let me grab 275 and see if I can get, a rep or two or three on it. I'll just get what I can get. Okay, so I came over, got set in. The first rep felt really good, so I went for a second one, and I managed to get it. And I almost decided to ramp up and go for a heavier single, but I'm like, let's just quit while we're ahead, maybe next week, right? That felt nice and good. I knew I could do a second rep, did a good pause there. Second rep, definitely heavy. I don't know that I had a third. A third might have been a failure, but that's pretty much PR territory for me there on incline. I've already said I want to get 315 incline. So then after that, it was lots of dumbbell work. So I came in, did 4 sets of 12 with the incline dumbbells, right? A couple of these sets were to failure. And again, the thing with these, I always like to turn the wrist, and I always get people who are like, you talk about the stretch, but this is kind of my range of motion. You guys have watched me hit failure on this. So again, people always don't like my ranges of motion. This is why I do pullovers. This is why I do certain exercises hanging, because I'm trying to improve that, right? I'm trying to improve that range of motion. Like right there, that was a limit set. I came to the bottom and paused. Like there is no deeper stretch. Hey, there's no deeper stretch for me. Overall, though, looking thick today. I was hoping I would look a little leaner today than I have been due to all the extra cardio, the carbs being lower, adding the extra cardio, extra volume. But I don't feel that I'm looking leaner per se this weekend. That could just be me. Other people can feel free to chime in. Could be my own body dysmorphia. But I definitely feel like I look thicker today. Look like I'm gaining muscle. I'm not gaining weight at this point. The scale started to trickle back down a hair finally from all the cardio, the other stuff I'm doing. I almost feel like I look thicker. Could be though I've added a bunch of potassium salts back in, which may just be filling the muscle tissue out. Right? Could be a factor. I think it's possibly a factor, which is never a bad thing. Right? Never a bad thing. Full muscle tissue, good to go. In spite of being on 50 grams or less of carbs a day. Basically, guys, my Mutopia and my Greek yogurts, those are my carb sources. That's about it, right? Because avocados and spinach don't count. Meat doesn't count. So 4 sets of 12 with these. They felt pretty good, pretty happy with them overall. Great chest pump from this. And again, the whole idea, since I did the heavy work, 3 heavy sets of barbell work, I wanted everything else to be pump work, 10 plus reps, right? And we wanted to get a lot of volume. And that's essentially what we did. Everything was 10 to 15 reps, and I ended up on these other supplemental lists, if we count pullovers as chest, and I do, right? I do count pullovers as chest. So my non-heavy work, my 10 plus rep stuff, we ended up with 12 sets. So it will take me to 15 sets total, right? 15 total sets, which is a good place to be. I'm almost debating on the arm day of doing chins and close grip bench to start and then doing the isolation work on that separate arm day. I don't think it'll be a bad thing. All right, my recovery is good. Shoulders are feeling good. Everything feels good. Sleep was pretty good last night. So we're definitely not at risk of overtraining in spite of all the volumes, right? Every muscle's getting a minimum of 15 work sets per week, quality work sets. Some of them are getting a lot more. Some of them are getting 30 to 40, depending on how you break it down, right? Depending on how you break it down. Definitely all the arms. And that's not counting the compound movements. That's just, extensions and curl variations. Those are all getting at least 30 sets. All right, pullovers, went ahead and did these. I got 15 with this weight, which is, again, it's a little better than I've been doing. I'm trying to pause as I get further into these. Definitely like the last set was a lot more pause. Trying to get the deepest stretch I can. Again, the same thing people will say, why don't you do these deeper? Well, I could just try to hold it for 30 seconds and see if I get an extra inch. But, that's where we are. But right there, those pauses, that's what built it. That's how you build those ranges of motion, right? Weighted loading. That's what builds mobility. And that's really kind of my option. That's what I have to do to make it work. That's what we're going to do, right? And use the tools that we have available. So again, one of the things I've noticed though is, and because I've been working a little bit with Lou raises some of my off days, a lot of stuff pops into place when I do this. I can't even raise them literally with a 5 pound in each hand. The first rep or two, I can't even get them up, and then I swing them up. And then it starts popping, some stuff pops into place, and then I'm able to do them. So it's again, a lot of that, I think, is some calcification, some old scar tissue and stuff, different stuff in the joint that almost prevents me from hitting stuff at certain angles till it opens up. So again, all we can do is keep working those ranges of motion, right? Keep working the ranges of motion. And that's how we improve that. Again, we do what we can do. But pullovers, so we did all the incline and we did the dumbbell presses. Obviously works the upper chest, front delts. Really, incline work does work your lower chest though too. People have this idea, you only have upper. No, it's just going to bias the upper. And again, if we're in the pursuit of aesthetics, that's not a bad thing, all right? And I'm not saying a big lower chest isn't useful. It absolutely can be, but it only looks good if your upper chest is just as big, if not bigger. And I think that focus on the incline work will get me there. Once that is a lot bigger and maximally developed, could I start doing a little decline work, maybe cable flies? I've got to have access to other equipment though. I can't really make those work right with the equipment I have here. I don't have a proper decline. I definitely don't have a cable set up with 2 cables. I just don't have that. But eventually could definitely do some more of that. But also I could get some of that with some wider grip benching, maybe some reverse grip, wide grip benching. But in the meantime, there's no point in even worrying about that. I'm just going to hammer the upper chest and make it grow, and the lower chest will grow with it. And it'll look good and be proportionate. So obviously things like chest and arms, priorities, but really it's going to be that upper chest, right? Obviously I need my rear and side delts bigger, but we just work all the shoulders, right? I'm doing a lot of shoulder volume, a lot of various angles, right? So we're hitting all those angles. It's not like we're not training them with quality sets and high volume. All right, after that, after the pullovers, which again are a great tricep long head, I feel a lot of tricep, lat, pec. I get a good pec burn on the higher rep ones, but definitely when I get heavier like that, I start to feel the triceps a lot too. Then we did incline flies, right? And these ended up being right around 10s for this weight. I could go a little lighter if I wanted to get more reps because all I can get is about 10. Felt good. So again, that's what I said last time. Like, I don't feel like I need the decline flat press, particularly with the dumbbells I have. It's so hard to get them in position without almost hurting myself with those post hitting. Or at least coming back down. So I'm like, let me just do incline flies. Let's just double down on the incline work, all right? So it's going to end up being like today, between these 3 exercises, 9 sets of incline, right? Or is it 10? I guess it's 10 sets of incline. Okay, that's a lot of incline volume from 3 different movements, right? Because we had 2 sets of the heavy barbell, then higher reps with 4 sets of dumbbell, right? So that's 6. Well, so that's 11 sets. I can't even do math. And then we did 5 sets of incline flies. And I'm putting the most volume into isolation movements in terms of any single exercise, mainly because we tolerate it better. But the dumbbells we can tolerate a bit more because we're forced to go lighter. But I do want to get that heavy work, and that's going to be this whole power building approach. We're going to come in and go real heavy on, at least our big 3, and then I like adding incline or overhead in there for one. I don't know that I want to go super heavy on overhead press. I could. I've thought about it. It might behoove me to do so because I'm still going to have front raises and other stuff for 12 plus reps. So something to think about, something I could consider, right? Definitely could consider it, but I want to get really strong at incline, and I just hit a pretty much a lifetime rep PR. I got 225 for 10. People commented, wow, they were all paused. So that's when I knew I could probably come in and get a 275 for at least, I was hoping for a double, which I got. I mean, in a perfect world, I would have liked 3, but I knew I didn't have it. Right? When I locked that second one, I'm like, I could probably get a 3rd rep off my chest, but I don't think it would have locked. But next goal to aim for, right? Next goal to aim for. Get that up to 3, then 4 and 5, and maybe increase weight. Feel like if I can get it for 5, I can do 315. We can do 315. Okay. Now, interesting, when I get into these angles, I look a little bit leaner. And I think it's mainly because that flank and love handle area, due to the loose skin and still holding some extra fat there, is where I'm disproportionate. So as that gets smaller, I'll be good. And one of the things I've had to accept, I just need to get leaner. I'm going to keep doing more ab work. I added ab work back in today, hanging leg raises. The more I think about it, look, if we're going to bodybuild, let's bodybuild. We don't need to stand around and go, do I need to try to get the tiniest waist? No, just build your waistline. I'm not going to have the bubble gut because I'm not running a bunch of growth hormone and insulin and IGF-1. And so really that's not a concern. So let's just build our core. If we get leaner, it will still look great. I just have to lose the extra fat, tighten the loose skin up around that area, and I think we'll be good. I feel like losing the fat alone will work because then if I end up building a little muscle there, it might build back in, it might be okay, might help. So again, I'm like, man, let's just get the blockiest abs possible, right? So even if I don't have the tiny waist, because I'm not built that way, I'm just not built that way. If I get lean enough and just really hammer and develop my core, it's still going to look really good, right? Because I already have really big abs there. You can see them under there. So just keep working on them. Train the heck out of them. Get them big, get them strong, and then just get leaner. And that's why I'm working everything. And I think it's a thing that we have to remember with training. Your structure is going to be genetic, and that's going to determine what style or class of bodybuilding or physique type competition you're going to do. Just accept your genetics, okay? No one has bad genetics for those. They're just going to have bad genetics for different classes. So I just need to build everything. Build my forearms, build my abs, build my rear delts, everything, right? Train everything to get bigger and then get really lean. Just diet down lean. You'll look great, right? Will you necessarily be a bodybuilding champion? No, but you'll look great. Let's just quit undertraining any muscle, right? Undertraining biceps is one of the reasons I'm in the situation I'm in. Now I'm playing catch up. So the idea is train everything. So laying extensions, I went with these. I'm like, I don't feel that I like the incline, and for a lot of people, they're great. A lot of my clients are great. I feel like I just need to just get bigger triceps. So let's just work everything, right? And we could argue lateral head on the pressing, but I do the pullovers for the long head too. These extensions work all 3 heads. They're a powerhouse. They're a great exercise. I feel them amazingly well. Let's just come in and push them hard, and see if we can get some progress on them. And then just burn everything out with press downs. I did 12 sets of these. I only included 10 because a couple of them I adjusted the setup, trying to find the right setup. I still took them pretty well to failure, but they're not as pretty as these bands flopping around. Because I wanted to get a better tension curve. So instead of that doubled over band, I just want to run these longer bands. And this same setup, if I get strong enough, I could just go to the next band up. I have thicker bands than this. I have the Road Black bands too. I have all that for speed work. So I've got all these bands. These put me up around anywhere from 16 to 20 reps to failure with fairly short breaks. That's a good sweet spot for the band work. Do 10, 12 sets of that, okay? These felt great, great pump, great burn in my triceps. Plus we get the stretch reflex, which I feel like could behoove me here to get that overspeed eccentric off that stretch reflex, okay? It's never a bad thing, and I've done a lot of band work for triceps in the past, a long time ago, so I got to my 365 close grip. I'd like to be back into those ranges again on all my pressing, right? All my pressing should probably be 365 plus, but I need more tricep for that, more chest for that. So again, just did a bunch of these band press downs, and I feel like there's not much else to say in this vlog. This vlog is like 16 minutes of me talking. I'm just going to leave it here. You guys will see the hanging leg raises at the end. I'm going to just start adding hanging leg raises, I think, again, at the end of every workout. I was doing that for a while. I took it out, but now I'm kind of like, you know what? Let's just keep pushing the ab training. It'll also help with my shoulder mobility, the hanging. It'll help with my grip, all right? More forearm, more grip. Let's just run with it, right? So today ended up being 15 sets for chest, 15 sets for triceps if we only count the isolation work, not the pullovers, not the pressing. So again, tricep volume was very high because a lot of those do count. Overall, though, very, very happy with today's workout, happy with the benching, happy with the incline work. So I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.